What was your political journey, Pxie? How did you?
Oh, okay. So basically, I was born and raised in, and growing up, I saw a lot of poverty, like a lot of it. And I remember from a very young age, just like kind of my mind exploding because we had to do community service. And, in Puerto Rico, if you can go to a private school, you also go to a private school. So I did community service. I went to this school that was a public school. I saw the paint falling off the walls. I saw the tables breaking down, the books all breaking down. And I remember thinking, what's the difference between me and these kids? What is the difference? Why do I get a nice school, a nice books, a nice whatever, and these kids don't? And when I realized it was luck from that young age, it just filled me with a deep sense of injustice. This is not right. It should not be this way. And I think ever since then, I've had a passion for just wanting to make things right, wanting to get people the resources that they need and should have, and not be screwed over just because they got unlucky, ultimately.
On the topic of Puerto Rico, should they be a state? Oh, we have a new guest, by the way. We have, what's your name again?
You can call me Destiny.
Destiny. Dustin.
Yeah.
I can't call a fully grown man Destiny. Dustin's fine. But welcome to the show.
Box?
Yeah. Anyway, Puerto Rico, should they be a state?
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan?
No,
Why?
because I don't like them.
You don't like the Puerto Ricans? You don't like the Ricans?
No, because,
you don't like
because all
me?
their boxers beat my favorite boxers, so I don't think they should be a state.
Well, maybe you should get better boxers.
That's true. We should get better boxers.
Yeah.
But no, they should be a state.
Why? Okay, here's the, okay.
Because they're cringe.
Why,
The Puerto Rico stuff is a matter of just having stronger institutional power, right? You get more representation in Congress
Of
for
course, I mean,
Democrats.
it's a question of no taxation without representation. It's a
Well, fuck
basic
that.
American
Hold on. If
concept.
they were voting Republican, I wouldn't want them to be a state.
If they were voting Republican, I'd still want them to be
That's
a
a
state.
U.S. territory, okay? They don't deserve representation.
you have more
have-
nuanced opinions on this, don't you?
Yeah, okay, whenever people ask me this question, to me it's the equivalent of hey, what if we had a child and we beat it up every single day, and then at 18 years old, we're hey, you either can be homeless or you can get a seat at the dinner table, but we still might beat you up. And it's the first thing that has to happen is that we have to stop beating the freaking child, okay? We have to be able to put them in a level of stability where they can actually make decisions that, I guess are fully informed and realized before you do anything else.
Wait, what is the metaphor? How does America beat the child of Puerto Rico?
So basically, if you look at Puerto Rican history as well as current Puerto Rican status and how we're under federal law, and basically we can pass our own general laws, but ultimately federal law trumps all. It seems very hard for Puerto Rico to be able to develop economically. Our domestic economy is basically shut down.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with federal law? I mean, federal law trumps state law in the United States as well, right?
Do you
how does that?
let me be more specific. Do you know the Jones Act?
I've heard of it.
Okay, so let's say I have a shipment of cars
Explain for the people at home that haven't heard of that.
Okay. So let's say for whatever reason you have a shipment of cars from Brazil, right? Logically, if you're gonna ship it, it would make sense for it to stop in Puerto Rico and then go to Florida. But the Jones Act basically dictates that no, you cannot do that. It has to go, maybe stop in Puerto Rico, go to Florida, then you have to change everything to a ship that was built in the United States with an all-US crew, and then ship those cars back to Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico, because of, and I could go into this for a very long time because there's a long history of US interference or domestic policy, blah, 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 basically ships most stuff. So who covers all of that? Who covers the grand cost of this? Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
Wait, why is that the policy?
Because that's U.S. federal law.
No, I know it's U.S. federal law. What's the point of that?
Oh, the point of that was it's supposed to help U.S. ships, basically, and U.S. trade.
Merchant Marines.
What is is the Jones Act just Puerto Rico can't ship stuff directly to it, or is there is that a more comprehensive or larger thing? That's
basically the biggest part of it. I think there's 2 more clauses to it, but and it's not just Puerto Rico that suffers from this. That's also Alaska and Hawaii. So that's overall the Jones Act.
Wait, so you can't ship anything to Hawaii internationally either?
Not if it's for trading. If it's not big shipments or anything. I'm sure if you want to do FedEx something to Hawaii, but if you're trying to sell in bulk or whatever. I know that was very messy wording, but yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Loner Box, fight with Dylan real quick on that.
What?
How do you fight about that?
The fight with me.
On what? What am I fighting you on?
You know exactly what.
Why would you do that last night? It was so rude.
Because they deserved it.
They deserved it.
The entire community. I never liked them.
Of course.
Do you think DC should be a state?
I do.
No taxation,
I
no
do. The two options, right? The one option is they get either absorbed by Maryland, because it would be Maryland because it's the best state, and then we just add a few Congress people, or we create them as a state. If you talk to DC people, they want to be a state. They don't want to be part of Maryland. They don't want to be part of Virginia. They don't want to stay in this weird middle ground where they do technically have representatives, but they're non-voting representatives, so they just kind of stand there and wave. They want to be able to have an impact on the legislature, and they have a higher population than many Midwestern states.